We live in a reality devoid of meaning. Now, this is no mistake. This is planned. I'll tell you exactly how. This is the plan to destroy society in a 8-minute or however long video. First, remove God. The easiest way to subvert a society. Remove God, remove Christianity, make Christian men feel weak. Right? And you remove God by teaching nihilism. Remove God by teaching people that they're monkeys, that I'm related to a strawberry, same way you are. So you remove God, and when you remove God, there's no meaning. So when I say I love my neighbor, when I say I love this, I love that, my love for my mom, it's just chemicals, it's just feelings. You know, it's not real. There's no real morality, so on and so forth. But that's not all. It's only the first step. It's a very damaging first step. It's the most damaging first step. But it gives perfect segues to the second step, which is something I see all the time. Because I work with people that happen to be 15 to 21. It's usually the age range that people I end up working with. I guess there's one guy who's like 22. But they're in this, high school age range. They're around my age. I'm 19. So how kids talk is the most disappointing thing I've ever seen. Because, I read a lot. So I'm reading on my Nook, I'm reading on my computer, I'm taking all these notes, I'm reading all day, I'm learning, all this different type of stuff. And then I go to have a conversation with one of these high schoolers. And that's, the ones I work with have gotten a lot better, but especially when I talk to their friends, because they bring them, like earlier I was debating a Muslim that's friends with my, first accent from the average. But yeah, I work with this one guy who's in high school, and he brought me his friend who's a Muslim, and we were debating, and this guy is the biggest retard I've ever seen. It's not just because he's Muslim. I mean, that's obviously part of it, but the biggest reason why is he just doesn't understand English. They have such an illiterate understanding of just speaking. Like, I'm not even speaking in rocket science terms. If anything, I'm speaking in a very simple way relative to how I could be speaking. And it's true that when you're debating religion and talking about philosophy, it's a higher level subject. But at the same time, I'm simplifying it. I'm oversimplifying it in many cases. He still doesn't understand. But nothing is more shocking and more scary than the younger children. Because the younger children, what do they say? Sigma, 6'7". That's all they say. Literally all they say. They don't say anything coherent. They don't say anything interesting. I remember when I was a kid, and I was a nerd. I was a... actually, guys, on my first day because I used to, when I was a kid, I went to this, upper class white school because I lived in a gated community. But then, something happened to my mom and my stepdad, so I ended up moving out to a shed in the middle of nowhere, and that's, where I started trying to make money and whatnot. I was like 12 or 11. But I remember I went to my first day in 5th grade at this new, now ghetto school. And my teacher got a math problem wrong on the board. It was like some addition thing. It was like 5th grade math. I forgot what exactly it was. And I raised my hand and went like, actually, Mrs., the math problem's wrong. It should be this. Everyone looked at me like I was the biggest loser ever. Now, I did end up getting along with them, but that's aside the point. The point is, I was a geeky kid. Okay? I remember when I was a kid, so I'm better up here. Most kids that were my age were probably down here. I'm like up here in this regard. But I would talk about VHS tapes and the history of it, and I would talk about these in-depth subjects. I was talking about baseball because I was watching, 15-hour documentary, the DVD box set, and all that stuff. So I was talking in these ways, and I didn't understand literally everything I was saying, but I spoke in a way that had meaning. I meant what I said. I was actually getting at a point. These people just say, brain rot, Sigma, Alpha. Dude, you're a Sigma. I remember when I went to a youth group when I was 16. When I was 16, 17, I kind of looked like this, so I'm the big G of the group. And I would wear my suits and whatnot. The girl was like, if you don't have a team, I ain't gonna eat. And I guess. Like, dude, you look like a Sigma. It's the most cringe thing ever. These kids are so retarded, and it's so sad. They can't speak. God, I'm just gonna... Yes, I said 6'7" like 5 times in this video. Damn it. There's a whole meme going on in my community about me saying 6'7" accidentally. I was like, damn. And I got my friend a few times with it too. But in any case, what kids say just has no meaning anymore. And what do you think it's going to be like when they're adults? They can't sit and watch a 5-minute video that is in-depth and coherent. Even the ones that are smart, they're just looking at TikToks for like 40 seconds. Gives you a very surface level understanding of whatever you're looking at. And TikTok, of course, deteriorates your brain. Makes you retarded. And this all matters. Because with no God at the center, nihilism is all you have. Okay, this whole 6-7, brain rot, sigma, all this type of stuff you're seeing, this is nihilism. It's nihilism disguised as entertainment. Because what is the whole point of Skibbity Toilet and all these different type of things? There's no meaning to it. That's literally the point. It's just stupid. There's just no meaning at all. What is the worldview without meaning? Nihilism. Nietzsche, the figurehead of nihilism, what did he say about Christianity and God? He said God is a terrible concept. He said God is dead. He's called Christians terrible things. Called them feeble. Called them weak. Called them degenerate. All these type of things. That's what we're living. Nihilism disguised as entertainment. So the answer, obviously, to the void in society is God. But that all starts with you. It starts with me, you, all these different types of people. Talking more openly about it and being people that are of intelligence or smart. Because how do you combat no meaning? You combat it with meaning through God and meaning through actually saying things that matter. Like, one thing I noticed is that now I'm talking to more people related to what I'm doing now because people join my Discord. A lot of people just engage in like meaningless conversations, just say things that are stupid a lot of the time. And it's hard for me to understand. I can spurg out sometimes, but still, it's like, so you're saying things, you don't really mean anything you're saying, and you're not thinking about what you're saying. It doesn't make sense to me. I place great value in what I think about and what I do because ultimately, I've been given life by God and life has meaning because of that. So people waste it like there is no meaning. Never really understood that. It's a short time to joke around and whatnot, but joking around should be like your secondary mode, not your primary. In any case, I'm not going to ramble too much. The answer is Christianity. Us Christian men need to be better. Us Christian men need to be seeking meaning, learning, becoming intelligent, and so on and so forth. Because transformation starts with you, transformation starts with me. That's how we're going to fix this. This will be completely free. The education resources you have right now suck. I know because I try to educate myself every single day. The stuff you find on YouTube sucks. The stuff you find everywhere sucks. So what I'm going to say is join my free Discord. There's literally no payment. I literally don't make any money right now off of this. So I'm not trying to sell you anything, but I have a Discord channel in there called Asylum where I talk about stuff that's important, free information every single day, and there's an active community every single day for you to talk to and make a brotherhood with.